Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas, and I'm continuing in this video my ranking of the MCU movies from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, and this time I'm doing numbers 11 through number 8, so stay tuned to see what they are here on Jason the Old Millennial. Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing well here on a Wednesday evening. I'm back doing more rankings of this MCU that I've been doing, 22 movies from Iron Man to Avengers Endgame, doing numbers 11 through 8 here in this video. I just want to shout out some things coming up this week. This Saturday, I'm going to be on Adam's What the Gym channel. Again, of course, always love being on Adam's channel. And we are going to be ranking our top 10 favorite Tom Petty songs. Also, Sam St. John and Rich Strickler will be on that channel, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm somewhat of a newbie to Tom Petty, so the other three are much more expert, so it should be interesting to see what we pick there. Also, I just talked to someone I kind of met not too long ago named Garrett from SoundLab Studios, and we're talking about not tomorrow, but the next Thursday, doing a live stream on his channel, talking about music that was important to us, I think, in our kind of childhood or whatever. Anyway, so make sure to get on SoundLab Studios, subscribe to his channel, definitely tune in for that. First time collaborating with him, so that should be really good anyway. So that's some of the live streams coming up. And I have more information, of course, on my community tab. I try to put somewhat of a schedule each week of what I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, so let's get to the MCU rankings. Number 11 on my list is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the sequel. This was a really fun sequel to the first one. I really enjoying the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. There's two of them. Anticipating the holiday special coming up, I think, I don't know, the next month or so. And also Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which I know they're working on, which feels like it's been a long time since the last Guardians of the Galaxy. Of course, we've seen them in the Avengers Infinity War mostly, and a little bit in Endgame, and then they played just a very small part in Thor Love and Thunder. So definitely love to see them together again, because they're a lot of fun. Those movies are just so fun. They're some of the most humorous of the MCU movies, which I do love. I do love a good superhero movie that has good humor in it, along with some good action. I feel like the perfect superhero movies, like, you know, of course, great action sequences to really good music, and to have some really good humor also put in there. It seems that what MCU has done very well at, and why I'm such a big fan of this series. Anyways, but yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, when I first saw it in the movie theater, I have to admit I was a little bit disappointed with it. I didn't think it was nearly as good as the first one. And the first one was, of course, going to be later on my list, a little bit higher on my list here. Definitely anticipating it, definitely look forward to it. And I think my feeling was that it was a little too jokey. They definitely revved up the humor, I thought, in the second one, even compared to the first one, which was a very funny movie as well. And there were some times where I felt like there was they're trying to be too funny, too many jokes, especially Drax really turned into just this real joke machine. It's funny, played by Batista. It's funny because the first movie, I mean, he definitely was more of this like intimidating character that you're supposed to be somewhat scared of, or you know, you knew that he was, you know, somebody you didn't want to mess with. So I thought he's supposed to be somewhat more of a serious role. I guess that's where the comedy comes from, because him being serious sometimes can bring out some comedy. This one, they made Drax such a joke machine, especially when they put him up against I forget her name, this new female who's like helps out, who can make people fall asleep. Mantis, that's it, yeah. When they put Mantis and him together, they turned into kind of this comedy team, which I was not expecting. In fact, they seem like they're like the main leads in this holiday special coming up. So they really made them two like this comedy team together. You even see that a little bit in Thor and Love and Thunder. So I don't know. I wasn't expecting Drax to be so funny. I guess I thought he should be a little more someone, you know, should be a little more serious. Like, but because they have so many funny people in it with Chris Pratt, Rocket says a lot of funny things. I thought Michael Rooker was really good in his character. He's pretty good in everything I see him in. I forget the name of this character, the blue guy that whistles and has that like looks like a big pen that can kill people. Yeah, I loved his character and loved what's done there. But I'm saying all that to say when I rewatched it recently, though, I actually didn't mind all the jokes. I actually kind of laughed still at them. I had a lot of fun with the movie. So I actually kind of liked it a little more this next time around. I think it was going to be lower on my list, but after rewatching it, I was like, you know what, this is actually a pretty good movie. And again, I love the music. One of the best things about Guardians of the Galaxy, the two, Volume 1 and Volume 2, is the great 80s like pop music that they put in there. Some of my favorite songs, especially love My Sweet Lord from George Harrison was played in this movie. So yeah, so I love the music, love the comedy. I think actually still works for me. There's some really good scenes. Like I love, again, I forget the name of the character now, but him and Rocket and Groot are captured by the Reavers, whatever, and they bust out, and he once he gets that whistle and that thing, it's in the dark, and you can see because the weapon kind of glows in the dark or something. So you just see this thing go around killing people, like, and the scene where you see all the bodies falling down. Like, definitely some great imagery there. Like, James Gunn does a really good job with that. I wasn't so crazy about the villain, I guess. I think that's one of the things that I was turned off on. Yeah, you get Star-Lord's father in here, played by uh, Russell Crowe, or not Russell Crowe, Kurt Russell, and he's very good. But I don't know why I wasn't so crazy about the whole plot necessarily. So it's not as high as some of the other movies, but still a really enjoyable movie. So I put here at number 11, almost in my top 10. Now, getting my top 10, I actually have Blu-rays of my top 10, so you can tell what my favorite movies are because I have a Blu-ray. Number 10 is actually Iron Man 3, which I got here. I think a really underrated movie, to be honest. I feel like critically, it was not reviewed very well, and I've heard a lot of people put it as like one of the worst movies in MCU. I really enjoyed this movie when I saw it, and I still do. Again, I think it's one of the more comedic movies in the MCU, and I actually do. I have to admit, I do enjoy the comedy. I do enjoy good comedy, so I do go towards the comedic superhero movies more than I think other people do. So that's why it's in my top 10. Very enjoyable movie, of course. Big fan of Iron Man, is one of my favorite of the whole series. Robert Downey Jr., just so amazing in the character. The villain, again, not I think his name is Killian or something like that, but played by Guy Pearce. Wouldn't say he was the greatest villain or not of all time. I do love what's his name, Ben. Let's see if I can find his name here. Ben Kingsley, yeah, sorry. Ben Kingsley, I actually really enjoy in this movie, and he even has a really great part in what's it called, the Shing, the Ten Rings. I forget the name of that one now. As I can't remember, Trevor. I think his name is Trevor or something like that. As this British actor, I think he's very funny in that movie, and he does very well in this one. And I actually I think a lot of people hated the twist because they really wanted this this bad guy who's like kind of a famous bad guy for Iron Man, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Okay, I'm still thinking of that. But anyways, um, a lot of people didn't like that twist of who the bad guy was, but I actually thought it was really funny. And I thought it was an inventive kind of idea, and it surprised me when it happened. So I actually kind of enjoyed that. Like I said, it's just a very comedic movie. It's good. The action sequences aren't as good as some of the other top tier MCU movies, but overall, still, I thought a really enjoyable movie. It's first time Shane Black doing a movie in the MCU, and I thought it worked very well, anyways, in my opinion. So I have that Iron Man 3 at number 10. Number 9, just right below it, interesting enough, is I have the first Iron Man at number 9. Started the whole thing. Came out in 2008. I remember seeing the movie theater and just being kind of blown away how much I enjoyed it, especially Robert Downey Jr., who I didn't really seen that many movies with him in it. And so I thought it was weird, like Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man didn't seem like that big of a superhero. And man, was I like watching it and just going, man, this is such a good superhero movie. I mean, in fact, this was really high up on my list for a long time, but there've been so many other good superhero or MCU movies coming out that it's surprisingly that's at this low on the list at number 9. Because I really enjoy the whole story. I think it's a great origin story, one of the best ever given. Robert Downey Jr. is just so amazing in the role. I've always said he's my favorite character in the whole MCU, and it really starts with this movie. Just from the very first scene, you're like, wow, he's so funny and quick-witted, and such a good actor, and such a good character, and you just love him from the beginning. And I love the editing back and forth between, like, we see at the very beginning him getting attacked, and then we see a backstory, and then we go back, he's in a cave, and where he kind of invents the energy thing that keeps him alive. And then we kind of go forward with the story and all that. I just love how they structured all of it, and how he became Iron Man. Such a great, totally made sense. I love the fact that he's kind of this non-serious playboy. He's a billionaire playboy, not very serious guy, kind of selfish, I think, and self-centered. And through this experience where he gets captured by this terrorist group, the Ten Rings, and getting out of that situation, he kind of changes as a person and actually becomes like a much better person afterwards, where he's thinking more of other people. And that's why he makes the Iron Man suit, because he wants to go and save people and help people, which he wasn't about at all before. So I love that character arc, the character change of that, going from that to someone who cares about other people and wants to do good in the world, and wants to even, sacrifice his life to do good. So it makes you like the character so much more after that, and kind of redeems that character, I think. He still can be funny and witty, but at least be a little more likable in that way. Anyways, yeah, just a really fun movie. Got good comedy in it. I love the first action sequences in the cave when he built that first Iron Man suit. I thought it was really fun. And I love scenes like when he attacks the terrorist group and, shoots off that rocket, and then you see him walking away as it explodes in the background. I love all that. Done very well here. So I had to give a lot to Iron Man for starting the whole series, and really good place to start anyways. And had that shocking ending with Nick Fury coming in and talking about the Avenger Initiative, So yeah, and it kind of started almost started the whole wait till the end of the credits. Like, you never did that. Now every movie I watch, I have to wait till the end of the credits. I'm like, oh, are they going to show something? Anyways, and so that really started that. So I have Iron Man at number 9. Last movie to talk about, number 8. Also, it's getting a really big sequel coming up here in this next week, in fact. And the first one, though, is Black Panther. I have here at number 8 on my list. Obviously, Black Panther Wakanda Forever is coming out this Friday, I believe. Anyways, but yeah, this is another one where it was huge. I mean, one of the biggest of the whole series. It was one of the biggest box office movies, maybe only second to Endgame, I would say, in the whole series. Did blockbusters, also got nominated for Best Picture, the only one in the MCU or any superhero to get nominated for Best Picture. So really cool to see all that. It's funny, when I first saw the movie, I didn't like it that much. I think maybe it was overhyped or something. And so when I went and saw it, I was like, oh, I don't know why I didn't care for the action or the storyline. And it was just, to me, it was like, it was a nothing movie. I don't know. When I was going through of course, like I said, I was going through all the MCU movies on Disney Plus so I can do this ranking. So I came across that movie. I wasn't really looking forward to watching it. And something happened when I watched it. I was like really like into the movie, and I was like really into the storylines. And I was like, wow, this is really good. I don't know what it was. Something clicked. And I just enjoyed the movie so much the second time around watching it. I don't know, it's one of those things, I guess, where you have to step away from a movie and then come back to it. And sometimes your perception changes. I don't know why that is, how that works, but it kind of worked for me on Black Panther. I just really love the whole storyline of, making a mistake and then trying to hide it. And then that mistake comes back and, kind of ruins you. And this Killmonger is kind of the mistake where his father's killed, they leave, and then he comes up to be like the main villain that tries to take over Wakanda, basically. And, also he's going to put out weapons all over the world, and there's going to be like this big revolution everywhere. And so, I really love that whole idea, Killmonger, that whole backstory of him, you know, rising up to be a villain because of the circumstances. So I really like that, and like I love the whole look of the movie, I'd say. I love the costuming. The costuming is just amazing because you have all these different kind of African tribes, and they each have their own style to them, the way what they wear and how they look. And I noticed that a lot this time around watching it because there's like 5 tribes or something like that, and they all have their, you know, different personalities, I guess, different cultures. And so that was kind of cool to look and see. The set designs are absolutely amazing. Of course, I said that whole scene where he has to like fight for the kingdom, and there's like this waterfall, and other scenes. Just the whole Wakanda is just amazing set designs. And so it's just a really well-made movie overall. And Ryan Coogler, I think, is one of the top directors out there, one of my favorite out there, and I'd love to see more from him. And Michael B. Jordan is so great. He's one of my favorite actors. Of course, I'm a big fan of Creed, and so anything he's in, I'm like on board because I think he's one of the best actors working today. Maybe the best villain in the whole MCU, really up there. And of course, Chadwick Boseman is great. I thought as T'Challa, you know, very sad to see him, you know, Boseman pass away. And so it'd be interesting to see what happens with Wakanda Forever because they have to deal with the death of that character. You know, and so it's like, you know, Black Panther will always be Chadwick Boseman. He's always going to be Black Panther to us. He's always going to be, yeah. Of course, they're not going to replace him, but yet, you know, going on with the series without him is kind of hard to see it because he's does a good job, you know, in Civil War, in this, Infinity War, you know. He definitely made that character his own, and really appreciate his work there as Black Panther. But yeah, great performances all around. Really great storyline that really got me hooked in this last time watching it. And so I'm really excited for Wakanda Forever. I think it's going to be a big movie. Hope it's not disappointing. You never know. You don't want to keep your hope up too much that it's going to be disappointing. But so I'm going to go in kind of, you know, though it's hard not to be excited, see where they go with the story after all that's happened anyway. So yeah, that's why I had put Black Panther in my top 10 here at number 8. Yeah, so I don't know much more to say about that, but yeah, that's my 11 through 8. Please comment. What do you think about these movies? How are they in your list? Are they higher or lower? Love to see the comments, of course. Love responding to them. And just thank you to everybody watching the video. Thank you for liking it. And just thank you to all the subscribers for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you all. And I hope you have a good day.